Sam back in the studio, and I'm going to cover a little bit more on the Kemper. This time I'm going to focus on the effects side of the Kemper, which I just don't think gets enough coverage from the YouTube videos I've seen. You can put your Stompboxes in front of the Kemper Profiling Amplifier, but I've found as I've been working with the studio the last couple years that the effects section on it is highly underrated. So I'm going to just try to go through some of the effects section so you can hear. I'm going straight into Pro Tools, nothing fancy, direct out, direct in into Pro Tools. I'm not going to put any effects post. I'm just going to play through. I'm starting off with my Morgan AC20, which is one of my favorite profiles, so you can hear it clean. So that's what we got kind of to work with there. It's just not a lot of drive on it, hardly any at all. Morgan AC20 amplifier that's been profiled. So really quickly, just to cover, you have at the top here your Stomps, which is a section that they've, I want to say, profiled Stompboxes and put them in with all the controls for you. In the middle section is your amplifier, your EQ, and a cabinet that you can manipulate things within that. I'll show you that in a second. And then you have 4 effects over here on the right that are just easy go-to: reverb, delay, modulation, and X, whichever you want to program in there. So I'm just going to start off right away. You can hear I'm going to go and just hit the reverb button once, and you can see off on the screen, and I'm going to touch it one more time. So there you have a nice, clean, great sounding reverb. I know a lot of engineers when they record tend to record dry, or at least in the past I've done a lot of that, just because you want to be able to control it in the mixing stage. But this is such a great reverb that I've been finding myself lately as I'm tracking stuff, putting this reverb right in on the track because it just has a great tail to it. It's very clean and warm. And just for kicks here, we'll turn up the mix. So you have a mix knob, reverse and balance knob, time knob, and dampening. So we're going to just turn the mix up here on this reverb just to even kind of play and see what we can get here if we really crank the reverb. You can hear, again, it's already a great piece, and you just add things like a great reverb to it has been awesome. I'm going to dial back the mix. Let's bring it way back, and I'll keep it on just for a minute because I'm going to add a delay to that. So you tap on delay, tap on it once, it goes to the, or hold it down, it goes to the screen. Turn on, this one's called free delay. You can control the time. This one has a stereo effects. If you have headphones on right now and you're watching this, it's got a little ping pong thing going back and forth. And again, we have feedback we can turn up and mix. Really nice. Like I got a long tail going on there, but even within the mix. So you probably going to not use that much feedback in a song, but again, you can adjust the mix and the feedback. see, it's just a usable, really nice reverb. It's not going to sound like an analog delay pedal or a lot of the stuff that's the popular analog sounding-ish delays out there, but still it's very usable. And this is just one delay. There's a couple different ones you can dial through. Turn that off. Modulation, let's see, a tremolo. Again, I've hardly found any effects on here that weren't very usable and that I didn't really like the tone of it. So that, again, sounds really nice. So that's a tremolo right there. We'll turn that modulation off. And I'll move my way really quickly over here to amplifier. If I hold down amplifier, here you can see the Morgan AC20. Whoever profiled it is like put in there too. Tube shape, I messed around with this a little bit. Very interesting to be able to dial back and forth kind of the tube. I'm not quite sure how they profile this. Turn the tube shape up. And then I'll dial it way back. So it's really subtle. It's not a major effect, but it's fun to be able to just do slight manipulations with clarity, tube shape, tube bias, and then direct in the mix. Probably how much of this effect is in there. The second one over, if you hold that down, you're into an EQ setting. You can change presence, treble, mids, and bass. Reacts a lot like a Morgan that would maybe have an EQ, an analog EQ on the front end. And then hold down cabinet, and you have the Morgan 112 cabinet on there, and they've mic'd it. And again, these are all profiles. Let's go over here to the Stompboxes, because this is just, you could play with this. Here's a rotary speaker with a slow and fast. Again, I don't have the pedal hooked up. So you could be able to change these with the pedal. So it's got a nice ramp up and ramp down. And I'm sure this could be controlled with a foot switch. Let's see. So as I'm in effects, here's type. And if I just spin on this, again, so many effects in here. And they all sound really good. I've yet to hit something where I didn't think, again, it wasn't very clean, recorded well. You have a chromatic pitch thing. If we stay on that for a second. There it sounds like it's dialed down an octave, so interesting sound. We'll go, there's two voices on this, so we'll voice one of them. If we voice one at 0 and one at 12, he's got both notes going at the same time. Yeah, aliens in my Kemper. Here we'll go one up and one down. See what we get. Come on, 12. Kind of a cool sound. Sure, you're gonna find somewhere to use something like that. Let's go back. They have some nice choruses, some compressors, some EQs, auto wah. Just a lot of built-in great stuff. Some of these I haven't even gone through and played with all of them yet. So, oh, bit shaper. That's nasty. Bit shaper. Hard shaper. So instead of a distortion, you got something that's like bit crunching your. shaper, green scream. So you have something that's like a tube screamer. So usable, I think. I'd probably want to put a real one in front of it, but again, so much of the stuff usable. Wah pedal booster. Come on. It's not kicking on. Okay, I'm not sure what that's doing, so I'll keep going. EQ, compressor, vintage chorus. Turn it up a little bit here. Oh, there we go. Some chorus, which no one's using anymore, but maybe you do. I don't know. Chorus, vintage chorus, hyper chorus. We went over the rotary speaker, the tremolo, phaser. There's some loop effects that you can do, loop distortion, transpose, some harmonic stuff. And you can also stack the stomps on top of each other. So if I did find something, let's go to that rotary speaker and turn it on fast. I can, again, hold down B. That's got a graphic equalizer already on there. So I'll hold down C. This one's empty. So let's put, we'll stack two things on top of each other. And you can program and save all of these and pull them up real quick if you find a sound that you micro pitch. Oh, I need to turn it on, I think. Huh. Oh, pedal. There we go. And we'll add some delay to it. Again, this stuff's all really quick to turn on. Another thing I've noticed recording with this is just stacking effects too. Many times when you get a bunch of pedals in a row and something like this and you get your effects going in Pro Tools, it starts to muck up real quick. And I've noticed, I just feel like there's a lot of clean effects happening. Even with the Strat here, I'm turning up reverb, I'm turning up delays here and the feedback on the delay. So again, something that just I haven't seen a lot of coverage on, and that's the Kemper and all the built-in effects. Usable, I think, would be, to sum it all up, just a lot of great fun. Alone for the reverb tails that you can really dial in and get long, beautiful, drawn out things. Volume pedal, do swells. I've done that on a couple songs. The rotary. The delays are nice, very musical sounding. So tons of stuff to play with on here, and we haven't even touched, that's just in one profile. We haven't even hit any of the profiles and then going through and trying those effects on other profiles. It's Guitar Center in a box. I don't know what else to say. There's if you got a bunch of guitars, even if you have a bunch of amps, you profile them. And the Morgan I have, a Top Hat I have, a couple Fender amps I have, I've all profiled those. And it's made recording really easy just due to the fact that I can plug in here, I can have my monitors on in the studio, and I don't have to go into headphones if I got an amp in the same room. It's worked well when bands have come in here to the studio. We've dialed up some cool sounds. So that's about it for this one. If you have